I'm Angela Scapatura from Canadian HR Reporter TV. This week's guest is Friese. She's the founder of TalentEgg, a career website for new graduates and students. She spoke with us about recruiting young talent. What is one of the best ways for employers to find young talent?
I think one of the things that employers need to be aware of is that Generation Y, the way that they find information about things, the way that they're gathering their sort of career planning information is online. So if an employer is looking to attract or recruit Generation Y, then they need to be aware of the ultimate job search engine, which is Google. They need to know that when a Gen Yer is trying to find careers in engineering, they're probably going to Google entry-level careers in engineering. One of the ways that an employer can really stand out is by investing some resources and making sure that they show up, or they're a part of that conversation. They're a part of that search, of that career planning for Gen Y.
How can employers tap into social media to recruit, and should they be looking at those avenues?
Yeah, I think that I think that they should and they shouldn't. I think that social media, it depends which kinds you're talking about. So if you're talking about LinkedIn and the ones that are set aside for sort of more professional type of social networking, that's fantastic. If you want to have a conversation with a student through something like that, or something that is specifically career oriented, that's great. But I think that social media like Facebook and Twitter and that sort of thing, students are using it to socialize with their friends, to make plans for parties. And I'm not sure that employers want to be having a serious career-related conversation with a young person where they're, posting pictures of themselves getting drunk.
Speaking specifically of Google, how do businesses get to the top of that search?
I think that some great ways are blogging, getting involved in, again, career-related resources online, talking about creating a careers microsite specifically for students and recent graduates. That's very important. Taking some time somewhere that's career related on the web to talk about why starting an entry-level career in engineering is at that particular organization is the best way to go for certain types of students.
So tell me about this generation that's just exiting school.
I think one important thing in relating it to the last question is, how do you reach Generation Y, is to understand that this generation is chatting and speaking with each other more than any previous generation. And when they're influencing each other, which is what they're doing at the end of the day, they're not just saying to their friend next to them, oh, Deloitte's a great place to start a career. They're talking about their experiences online, doing the info sessions for a particular organization. What was it like interviewing at X big engineering company? And when they do that, when they speak about these things online, the message goes way further and it's interactive. And one important thing to know is you're not in control anymore. As an employer, you're not necessarily in control of that conversation. Again, why it's so important to, where you can, take control of the conversation.
So how is dealing with Generation Y different from dealing with people who've been in the workforce for years?
I think a lot of people say Gen Y, they have these really high expectations, unrealistic expectations, and they're entitled. They come into an organization and say, next, I started on Monday as an intern, on Friday I want to be CEO. Everyone's heard that, right? I think that employers generally have reacted to all these stereotypes, all these sort of characterizations of Gen Y negatively, and they say, this is bad, how are we going to stop this? And that's completely the wrong attitude. It's wrong because first of all, there's a ton of potential in the attitudes that Generation Y has, and also because there's nothing you can do. This is a generation that's coming in bigger and bigger groups into the workforce, and the generation that comes after it is going to be even more everything, all those things. For example, intern Monday, CEO on Friday, to me that screams ambition, not entitlement. Something like job hopping, which Gen Y is characterized as doing a lot. Well, yeah, absolutely. Turnover is expensive. Turnover is bad for an organization. However, if you have a worker that is not happy, it's actually probably in the employer's best interest to lose that worker, as much as it is for the actual employee.